Today we are going someplace very special. We're actually going to multiple places today. We are going to visit the filming sites today of Friday the 13th. We are going to show you as much as we can and try to line up some shots. So join us as we hang out with what would be the stomping grounds more so of Pamela Voorhees and also Jason. But hang out with us and get ready to go back to camp. So my model over here walked over where Annie walked over. It is the first scene that we were introduced to any sort of campers in the movie of the present day at that moment. So as you can see, we have been walking with Annie. She's just walked over the bridge and she inevitably walks into this little area. That right there you can see in the, hopefully I can line up the shots. That is in the movie. Everything here is original. This is us walking the same path as our rest in peace friend, Annie.
Excuse me, how far is campers away from here?
Bellingham.
What is it, Enos? About 20 miles?
About that.
The interior shots when Annie is in town takes place in what is now this really adorable local antique shop. This is Hope Junction Antiques. Very, very nice. They actually let me film the inside. What we found really awesome was that they actually kept what would be the original luncheonette, banners and whatnot. I've never noticed this before. So yeah, clearly they converted this into an antique business, but to see the original stance of what this business was and they used it for that purpose is amazing. And walking through the door, here's Annie opening the door. And right in there, that's where the scene where she meets the man who would push her butt into a truck would take place. Don't mind my hat, again. I have hyperpigmentation, guys, don't judge me. But right, I don't know how many feet this is, 100 feet maybe? We have, what? I don't know how to count. We have another famous scene, and I'm going to show you guys right now.
All the girls up there gonna look as good as you.
Oh, hey, Ralph. So after Annie leaves with Enos, they start to take a walk to go over to his truck, and they pass this little corner area where they are introduced to Crazy Ralph. I'm trying my best to match up the shots. You can see the four-way intersection sign that's actually in this scene. And yeah, you can actually see the original right over there. You see that rock paneling. I don't know what that call is. It's a wall. But as they're walking up, you see right here, here is the building. In the movie, obviously it is a different color. It's not as pretty as it is here. It had like a maroonish color, little bordering down there. And that little crevice right here, if you can see my phone, you can actually see they had the outline of the color, and that matches up. Obviously no detail of the building was altered, it's just been repainted as white. You can see this is right in the area where Ralph gets on his little bicycle and decides to come into town. Now, this isn't a Friday the 13th filming location. However, we did want to advertise how awesome the store is. This is called the Toy Chest. It is located literally right up the block, right where we showed you Crazy Ralph location and the luncheonette section. But the owner here, Kirk, was extremely nice to us. We bought some awesome things. So right there, the Hope toychest.com. Super nice guy, and if you know me, you know that I collect a lot of like horror figures and props. They had such amazing items in here for a really small shop. Really awesome, and they were really nice. Support them. They were totally cool with us, so check it out. So we weren't able to locate this exact road that takes place during this scene, and it turns out there was probably a reason why. Apparently, both the actors seen in this scene did not film this dialogue together. As a matter of fact, when you see Annie having conversation, she was actually doing dialogue sometimes with Tasso. It was actually awesome how they obviously edited it together with movie magic. We were on the road to find the cemetery, and we kind of took a detour, so we're gonna pretend that this entire scene was us trying to look for it. It was only down the block from where we were, but that's okay. We have our own movie magic today. We are in front of the cemetery that Enos drops Annie off upon her walking to the camp where, well, she never makes it to camp. But right here, as you can see, nothing has really changed. It is the Moravian Cemetery. It's located in Hope, New Jersey, and you can see, hopefully we can match up the shots, the original gate is there, and a lot of the landscape around it, it looks like nothing has changed. So this is pretty amazing. So a lot of the things that you're seeing is not synchronized to how we did things. The movie actually filmed what would be back and forth between Hope, New Jersey and Blairstown, New Jersey. So the next few segments you're going to see took place in Blairstown. So again, movie magic. It's back and forth, but you're thinking it's all in the same area? I think not. So in Blairstown, they actually created a little Friday the 13th museum, which I did want to show you guys what it looks like. Unfortunately, it was closed, so I wanted to just show you what would be available for some of the shots. A lot of the Annie walking shots does take place in Blairstown, and a lot of the more interactive scenes took place in Hope, New Jersey. So we just checked out a couple of the sites, as you know, because you're watching, and I will say that we stopped by a couple of the little shops in this town. Everyone seems very welcoming for a bunch of, you know, vloggers and people who are movie fanatics. So it's really nice to see that they kind of encourage people like us, because I'm sure it's good for business, but at the same time, it's just really nice to see just a really homey little town to be welcomed, because sometimes we will go somewhere and they're like, you damn kids, get off my damn lawn. So it's nice. You know what, Blairstown? Thank you for welcoming us weirdos. Thank you. Just a few blocks away, still located in the town of Blairstown, we have the Blairstown Diner, and this is the last meal that Steve would have before, unfortunately, Mrs. Voorhees, a familiar family friend, decided to, well, end his life. Who knew that was coming? Now, I was able to find what would be an old photo of what the layout more prone to what the movie was, as you can see here. So if this isn't fitting enough, it looks like it's going to rain, which would definitely fit the motif. I hear it. Oh, it's raining. Steve going down. It got super dark, it got super spooky, and Pamela's coming to kill us all. She coming. Just want to show you guys some of the items. We're actually ordering the Jason potato slicers. Want some crazy type burgers? We have a slasher burger. Has a little bit of everything. Price point, amazing. Now, we have eaten here before, and I will say that the food is super, super delicious. And you should check it out. It's part of the movie, and you're getting a decent meal. And you're getting lightning and rain and a show at the moment. Very fitting. I love it, though. This is so awesome. So we just finished eating, and unfortunately, we cannot film inside. 2 reasons. 1, COVID. Thanks. Secondly, they're actually filming, if you can see some of the lights right here, they are filming a movie of some sort. I seen one of the characters that looks very familiar from the Friday the 13th game, but this is the diner. We did eat here. It was delicious, really cost effective, by the way. Because you know my cheap ass likes some cheap eats, but it is good eats. So here, I want to show you the diner. Unfortunately, we can't go in. We've done it before. Maybe we'll come back one day and do it again. So unfortunately, we gotta check this one off of our list. But here's the diner. There you go. Well, we got here a little early, unfortunately. So, as you can see, Crystal Lake Tours. And it's not open for visitors at this time. Please do not enter without prior permission. We got here super early, so we're literally going to waste as much time as possible. We are here. It's a bit patchy, this road. Holy shit. So if you can ever go to Novi Bosco, just be aware, you need to have some good tires. Because the pathway from the main road to here is it's a bit much. That sign that you are seeing is the original Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake sign that was used in Friday the 13th Part 1. The camp actually kept it. They considered it junk and threw it into a shed, but it looks like it's coming to use now that we're doing the tours. And if you are curious to know who those two people are on the left, that is two characters from Part 2 of Friday the 13th. We have Lauren Marie Taylor, who played Vicky, and Bill Randolph, who played Jeff. But yeah, we were so excited to meet them because we had options in other weekends to meet actors from Part 1, but because we have done this before, we wanted to meet more of the rare characters, and it is my husband's favorite Friday the 13th, so I had to throw in some Part 2 for him. Alright guys, we're walking, we're hot, we're bitching already. Right here is Alice's cabin, and we're about to go inside once this group clears out. So this cabin actually had two uses. In the beginning of the movie, as you see here, the POV shot of Pamela Voorhees, or just the killer that we weren't introduced to yet, walking through the kids' cabin was actually the same cabin that is used in this scene, which is referred to as Alice's cabin. Obviously, they had to convert it for both of these shots, but it's pretty cool to know this trivia that most people wouldn't really understand unless they were physically there. No, but then I feel bad when he dies, though. No. And this is the main cabin. So this might look familiar to you. This is the rope that Alice uses. As a matter of fact, oops, you guys can match up the scene right there all by yourself there. Right there. That rope, that door, right here.
Why does she like it so much? It's a pretty color. You owe me one.
While the next set of clips are not in chronological order with the movie, I wanted to show you the one room where many scenes actually were filmed, and it's the kitchen.
So the refrigerator would have been sitting right here in the corner.
Yep.
We see Brenda's body, which is Tom Savini, come through the window in a nasty wig and dress that you can see now real good on the Blu-ray.
And then this was the pantry Crazy Ralph was in,
Yes,
right?
the pantry was built right here on the edge of the cabin.
Okay.
Crazy Ralph comes right out this doorway right here.
And here we are on Camp Crystal Lake. As you know, this looks a little familiar. Got a dangling hand out in the water. And then you have a demented looking little boy who comes and rules the day. Or rules the day in this case. But here you go, look, this is that we're here. We have water. They actually gave us these special little glasses. Angry Mother Bottling Company. And we are going to bottle up some of this water and take history home with us, as we always do. But yeah, look at this. This is amazing. Right there. We're gonna bottle this bad boy up, and we are gonna take it home and put it on my nice little altar, because that seems very fitting. Here you go. Oh, Rob, you find it.
Here's some stills of it in the.
There is the boathouse. You can't get too close to it, but if you know the game as well as the movie, obviously, it would be very familiar to you. Gotta get the gas can. And this beach area would be where the fight took place between Pamela Voorhees and Alice. Pretty cool. So they are doing the photo. Pamela Voorhees' head is right over there, and the two actors that I mentioned before is in there, and they keep screaming for their photo op.
Private signing of fire
How cute!
It looks a little bit different now, doesn't it? In the movie, we actually saw Ned walk in front of the boathouse. There was actually about 10 feet of dry land in front of the boathouse. Now, due to the beavers all the way at the other end of the lake building all their little dams, the lake level has rose over the last few years. And when we're over on the other side, you'll be able to see the door to the boathouse is actually crumbling because it's moving the foundation because of the water. Now, over on the other side of the boathouse, there used to be 4 cabins called the wind cabins. Unfortunately, all those cabins are now down. It was a really freaky thing. There was a fire in one of them. Another one crumbled to the ground. Another one, the foundation fell apart. So the wind cabins are actually all gone now, but that would have been the cabin that we see Ned walk up to, where we see the figure right on the porch in the doorway, which now with Blu-ray we can actually tell that that actually is Betsy Palmer. But during the film they didn't want you to see that because it would have spoiled the movie. Those cabins would have been right over on this side right here. And again, when we're across the lake, you'll be able to see a better view of where those cabins stood. Salvage 2 of these docks that they actually cut up into little souvenirs that they sell at the gift shop. It would have been the type of rafts that we just walked by right over there on the beach. They're the older school kind of like wood material. But this was a view from production looking out from this cabin on the way the docks would have been set up in the movie. This cabin actually doubles for 2 cabins in the movie. It doubles for Jack and Marcy's cabin, and it also doubles for Brenda's cabin. So when we go in to the left here, you're going to see the bunk setup, which would have had Jack and Marcy on the bottom bunk, and poor Nettie laying on the top bunk. Nobody even knew he was dead. We knew it, but they didn't. On the right side, in the back, you'll see where Brenda's bed would have been in the film.
Bunk right here?
Yep, that would have been the bunk right there. And then Brenda's bunk would have been back here to your right.
The amount of room, that's crazy. The lack of room, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, and it's such a small cabin. Pretty springy. Okay, next 3. So this is the Price Lodge. This was used as the shower house and bathroom cabin for the movie. There actually is no shower or bathrooms in this cabin. It is the biggest cabin on site, so the producers chose this cabin to build a set that would be used for the shower house and bathroom area. That's cool. Okay, so as you can see, this is a really big cabin. So they built the production set here in 1979. included a bunch of bathroom stalls and a bunch of sinks on this side. Everything was created as a set for production. So the 3 sinks were on the wall, were mounted for just production and not real. Now the bathroom area was so real that some of the crew members actually came in and used the toilet that was sitting there, and they thought it was an actual bathroom in here. Imagine that. It wasn't fun cleaning that up at the end of the day. So Marcy comes up to the sink and does her favorite line. Oh, Lizzie, right here at this sink. Then poor Marcy comes to take a shower. So this would have been a shower house area built by production. Now it's really cool. The camp built this 2 years ago when Janine Taylor, the actress that played Marcy, started coming to do these camp tours. And they take it down every time after the tour for the Boy Scouts and reassemble it for every new tour that comes in. Really cool. So we see Marcy come into the shower, see the little silhouette of the axe above her head. The axe was actually a piece of paper this big with a flashlight behind it. Come in here. Boom! We hit the light with the axe, and poor Marcy ends up with an axe in her forehead. So we're actually going to come right through the shower here and out the side door. So feel free to take any photos you like.
Alright, night vision.
Look, that they would rush her back and forth between each shot up into the dining hall to dry her off and warm her up a little bit. That would have been right there. Then we look towards the beach where we just were, and we see the cop cars pulling up and waving. Now everything's gonna be all right, and little Jason jumps out.
You're awesome. I love you. Let's do this.
You don't love me, don't lie.
So at this point, I feel like I didn't cover as much as I wanted from here on out because, well, apparently I got dehydrated because water is apparently important when you're walking multiple miles in the heat. I have failed us all. Here, this is when Barry flicks the switch on. And here we're Claudette and Barry walk right up there and up these steps.
She would have been walking up the steps right here. She turns the corner. She sees Barry and Claudette right over in that area where the fans are piled up. They're not doing anything up here.
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing. Oh! So please note, these are the original steps the Pamela Voorhees walked up, did some damage. Pretty cool.
Management issues. The 2 arrows, one goes in the crotch, and one was placed in the eye. Because the counselors were not watching, they were fooling around. There's a lot of symbolism even towards the end of the movie. I will just hold this light here and you guys can pin yourself to...
Yep. It's a lodge. This is the building in the movie that we see Bill and Alice run into. This door area right here is a recent built addition that actually encloses the door that they break.
And for you video gamers, don't forget to pick up the map. You need the map.
The opening shot of the main cabin, the outside of it. Then we see a group of people singing around the fireplace. Well, they use movie magic for this shot. They want to make you think that it's actually located right in the main cabin. Take a look at the screen cap up there. You can see that the fireplace is actually located up here in the dining hall. Back here in the kitchen is where Tom Savini and Tasso set up their private effects area. So they would go back there and they would do their prosthetics And they actually cooked Mrs. D's head in the oven all the way in the corner right here. That created such a gross smell that people weren't too fond of it when they went in here to eat their food. The cook in here would constantly be freaked out by Tom Savini because Savini would put all his props on the shelf and tease him and, you know, scare him with all kinds of fake blood and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. He vaguely remembers watching all the horror movies on Betamax on the 13-inch TV back there in between cooks of their special effects. Also back there you can see there's electronic heating. Right there you can see the heating trays that Adrian would have come up from the lake when they were doing that final canoe shot to warm up. She would have sat on there with her blankets and warmed up in between shots. Very cool. Tom, do the link. Hang down your head and cry. Okay, next line is hang down your head, Tom, do the link. Again.
So unfortunately some copyright music is playing at this point, so we're just gonna toss on the microphone and just ad-lib what happened here. We were told to bring our chairs for a secret surprise. We kind of figured out that we would be watching the movie on the lake, and sure enough, we were. So we settled, we got our little snacks, we got some chips, got a drink, and we decided to take part in what is essentially super awesome. So I took my shoes off, I relaxed, it was a long day, and we were just excited to enjoy a show. Well, there you have it. There was Camp Crystal Lake. Unfortunately, I didn't really have like some epic ending to this video because by the end of the night, between the heat and the lack of drinking water, and not to be one of those people but wearing the mask sometimes in the humidity, after a while it catches up to you, I got to leave with dehydration. So I'm filming this 2 days later because I felt like straight garbage. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed traveling with me to Camp Crystal Lake. Bye guys, don't forget to take care of yourself and take care of each other. Bye-bye.